Hello, people. This is Shamika coming to you with my Car Chronicles series. You are going to view some of my car because my face is breaking out, and well, I'm self conscious even though I'm not an ugly person. I still don't want to show my face. So, I'm going to talk about different topics on here. The latest topics, everybody's talking about this person. I watched some of her videos. Some of it gave me inspiration, and I don't know what, I don't know the basis of her life story and what's going on with her and why she's struggling as a person struggling myself, not to make excuses. But the thing I disagree and agree, some stuff she says, but I disagree with them saying quit your job. Quit your job, and do the DD delivery service all the time. Because where I'm from, in the Midwest, I make absolutely hardly no money, and people probably wondering why I do it. I do it, I have no choice but to eat. But, I don't ask people for nothing. I've been losing several jobs, getting harassed in just 1 year, 20 years altogether, where I'm struggling. I typically like to give and hate to ask people for stuff. But, I have been in a situation where I'm like, dang, I wish I can get help, but I won't, I just don't do that because I have pride. I guess you're not supposed to have pride, but, but yeah, working for yourself is the best, probably. And I say that because I've been harassed just trying to do the right thing at many jobs, and I feel like there is a clique behind the scenes that goes on, and a lot of things that I won't do unethically because people think I need a job, and they think once they find out I'm not a certain way that I won't do anything to keep my job. I am often ran out of corporations as a chosen one. I say I'm a chosen one because my remote literally flicked on to the Chosen series, and I know God did that. So he was explaining to me why I get targeted a lot of jobs. Now, I wish I could just quit a job and, go off faith and all that, but you have to be led by the Holy Spirit, and I don't think he's telling everybody to go quit their job. For an example, he told me to go into security. Now, I'm still going through certain things in the work environment, but right now I need to be able to make it. So he's like, do that. And he provided a way for me to do it, and I got hired on the spot. And then he did say focus on ministry, which have been off. I'm going to say I'm off on my spiritual walk. I'm just getting out of a narcissistic, on and off toxic, I don't know what you want to call it, a ritual, toxic relationship. So, yeah, I'm always off spiritually, and I was not doing what God wanted. So, see, me, I dream of people's judgment even before I talk to them somewhat. But my position is just to be like witnessing to them, not to be involved with them. And they want me to hurry up and get involved with them and get mixed up. But I have a life story of dealing with narcissistic abuse in corporations and in relationships. So that's why I can kind of understand where the DD person's coming from when they say, bet on yourself, don't bet on these corporations. Because, yeah, they're not really paying you enough to make it and stuff like that. And it's always some kind of wickedness behind the scenes, people attacking you because you're not going to do certain things to keep your job. Is what I feel is the basis. So I kind of agree there. But, I don't know about people saying she's using people and all that, because I don't go into that deep of a scope. If they feel that way, I can understand why they're mad, but I don't believe in bashing people. You can expose them without bashing, or, I don't try to make it my business to watch. I understand why people would get mad if they feel like, that she's taking advantage, but I don't try to make it my business to find out, to assume, she's doing that. I would hope not. But I'm just going to say I come from a background where, I try to work for lots of corporations. I'm talking about working for jobs hard, where I never called in at my last clothing store job over a year, and they cut my hours to 10 hours a week. I couldn't make it, and I was sliding on ice. Nope, I didn't, and I'm not to say she's a bad person for asking for money, because sometimes we need help, and it's too much pride, but I didn't ask. I just try to have faith. Like, God, okay, I don't know. I mean, I did go get rental assistance twice, though, so that's still asking last year and this year because I needed to, which I hated to have to do. But, I'm a person who's been losing jobs frequently and getting harassed, and still try to be a good person and work hard and not let that change who I am. But this is a wicked system that you can't really advance in. So I don't know. I ask God oftentimes, like, how can I get out of this system? Because I don't want to keep working for corporations. But And, I don't know. I know my ultimate goal is to do ministry. So I'm just trying to do YouTube, starting out right now, making videos. I'm probably not trying to bore people with the same old topics, because I know that everybody talks about narcissism and blah, blah, blah. Everybody has videos on it, because I do feel like, this spirit is running rampant in the last days, as I've met 8 criminal men, didn't even give half of them a chance. I'm just saying they've been, I'm going to say sent, it could be spiritual, whatever, my way. And I find it weird. The last one I asked him, I said, what made you want to talk to me, out of curiosity? Because I wasn't even looking at nobody or nothing. I was looking half crazy. It was, oh, you seem like a good ASS person. I feel like that's been my problem. I've been too good to people. And I'm always pouring into people, but I have yet to be poured into. So that leaves me drained in life. And my mission, I live in the Midwest area. My mission is to do ministry and help other people. Once I'm not fully over the situation I was in, so I can't say I'm there where I need to be, and I'm getting back in my, relationship with Christ now that I'm forced out of my toxic situation that was kind of like a ritual and I got used to. But I just like, how did I end up here? And I knew better. It's like, I know better, ended up here, because you got to have the word in you constantly to not fall off. And I realized that, like, hey, I wasn't even like doing none of that. I was just worrying, like literally worrying about how I was going to make it every day. Yeah. And that's how the enemy can get you. It's just like, okay, you're not reading the word. You're not even, we can get you right here. You desk. Okay. You tired of being alone. You always by yourself. I'm going to get you when your armor's down. So, God's still protecting me. God's still protecting me. And thank heavens, because I can't say I deserve it, but I appreciate it. But yeah, I've just been through a lot of things, and like I said, I understand her saying work for yourself, but you got to build that up. You can't just all of a sudden quit your job and work for yourself. Now, if you can, that's good, but I don't think God's leading everybody to do that. Now, eventually, if you want to make a plan, which is kind of how she's doing, to make a plan, then stop working for others. That makes more sense. And that's my take on it, and that's all I got to say on it. Kind of was there a little bit everywhere. And well, I was not on one subject, so I'm going to try to be better at that. But the basis of this video is just talking about how the DD delivery person said, quit your job. And, to a certain degree, I agree, because the corporations are wicked, but you need to have a plan and action and slowly work your way towards that. And that's all. That's it. Everybody have a blessed night and take care.